Well, what's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for a Manchester City analysis. This time we're going to be analysing the Manchester City victory over Brighton and Hove Albion in the FA Cup semi-final. So we're going to crack on with this video, and we're first up going to be analysing and having a look at the teams that was put out. So very strong side this from Manchester City, stronger than what I was expecting. So Benjamin Mendy start, which I found a little bit strange considering Benjamin Mendy in reality hasn't played many minutes. I don't think he's made any appearances since January. And so he's come into this game and he's automatically started rather than coming off the bench, which is what I thought would have happened. Give him 20 minutes and then maybe started him against Spurs. They brought him off instead in the 78th minute, so I'm not too sure if he's going to start against Spurs or not. I don't know whether he's capable of starting 2 games in a row in, 3 days. We'll have to wait and see. I found it strange that Vincent Kompany wasn't even in any of the squad. He wasn't even on the bench either. I'm not too sure if I'm reading too much into that, if he's got an injury or anything. I'm not too sure. But we saw Gundogan start, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne playing again and starting again. I'm finding it unusual. When's Kevin De Bruyne getting his rest? I thought it'd have been a cert to be starting in the game against Tottenham. Now I'm not so sure. I said there'd be plenty of rotation, and we'll have rotation going against Spurs too, and Crystal Palace, and every single game going forward. I'd be very surprised if we went with any same starting 11 as what we played in the previous game in consecutive games. So yeah, I'm not too sure where we're going from there. Phil Foden was on the bench, thought it was a little bit unlucky, in my opinion. Played well in the midweek in the Premier League. As we also saw Leroy Sané bench too, just saw Raheem Sterling start on the wing, along with Bernardo Silva, and, as I said, Gabriel Jesus starting this game. Aguero, not even on the bench, but he has travelled with Manchester City, but Man City are staying in London because we've got that game with Tottenham in the Champions League on Tuesday, so they're obviously going to work on their fitness down in the capital, and so that's why Aguero's travelled. He's travelled for that game and not this game, which you kind of understand. For Brighton, saw Bong on the bench. I thought he might have started this game. So, yeah, I did say Knockaert and Murray were rested for their game when they faced Chelsea in midweek. I was right at the start in this game, as I was expecting Brighton to be targeting plenty of power up front, which turned out to be the case. Anyway, we're going to crack on with the game now. 4 minutes in, the dream start of what Manchester City were looking for. Kevin De Bruyne on the right. He threatened it in the first minute, didn't materialise, did it a lot better in the 4th minute. On the right-hand side, the early ball goes in. It's low, it's bouncing, it's difficult to defend, it's undefendable. Not a lot you can do about this other than don't let the situation get to a point where Kevin De Bruyne is allowed to put a ball in like that. Being able to do that is so difficult, and it's kind of our only chance, or clear-cut chance, that we managed to create in this game. And it was just laid on the plate for Gabriel Jesus, who gets down low on his head, and don't take anything away from Gabriel Jesus. This is a very good finish. Gets in the right position at the right time, puts his head onto it, into the back of the net. A very good goal. That's what we're looking for. 1-0 Manchester City. We've got something to work with. Now, throughout the first half, pretty drab, not a lot happened. Big talking point, though, Kyle Walker. Now, there was a VAR review for a potential red card after he went with a head clash against, I hope I say his name right here, but Jahan Bakashar or something along them lines. Sorry, I've probably got that wrong, but I tried my best. But they got into a clash after a goal kick was given. It looked like he was fouled, and it looked like a corner, so it was either a foul or a corner, but for some reason a goal kick was given. Anyway, Kyle Walker was pushed in the back. Weren't happy about the challenge and confronted him. As he confronted him, they went head-to-head. Yellow cards them, obviously, and both of them were given yellow cards. However, Kyle Walker moved back, then moved his face towards that player again. I'm going to avoid saying his name. I don't want to attempt it again. But he moves his head towards him, and he's giving the referee a reason to potentially give him a red card, and he's given VAR a reason to have a look at the incident in what really should have been a yellow card. Now, correct decision was given, in my opinion, and good on the player for not choosing to make the most of the situation and clutching his face and going down like a big fairy. He didn't, and so we ended up getting, in my opinion, the correct decision. However, I felt Kyle Walker a little bit lucky there to maybe not face further action. I did note, though, in case he was sent off, because I was writing this out during the game, that in the build-up to the situation, there was a free kick to Brighton, and that same player that's clashed with Kyle Walker had no contact in going to the ball. I think he did it 3 or 4 times throughout the game. Minimal contact to no contact, chucks himself to the ground. Kevin De Bruyne simulated a dive. It was a dive. and obviously simulation is a yellow card, and then clashes with Kyle Walker would be 2 yellow cards. And I'd made that note in case anyone wanted to get fussy about that situation. I don't think that either player should have been sent off, and so I feel like in the end we got to the correct decision in an incident that perhaps could have been done quicker, but we got to the right decision. It was all weird. We move on. Half-time, 1-0 Manchester City. It was so flat, weren't it? It's just a flat game. That big pitch, it's so annoying. It's so difficult to be able to make things happen. We've seen it against City when we played Spurs. Weird game. Minimal opportunities, we won 1-0. We saw it against Chelsea, created absolutely nothing, minimal chances, finished 0-0, half-time in this game, minimal chances. We've managed to put a goal away, so we've got something to work for. I was looking for the second half of us trying to get that killer 2-goal cushion, as we're always looking for. Felt like Kyle Walker looked a little bit leggy, wanted him to come off, and obviously he did as Danilo came on, and just as Danilo came on in the second half, he was booked too, so perhaps a good idea to tilt Kyle Walker off. No red cards there, no ban. Hopefully he'll be okay for the Tottenham game. For Brighton, they're looking very threatening, particularly when going forward on set pieces, so we needed to make sure that we was marking up properly. We saw Kevin De Bruyne come off for Fernandinho too, and like I said, we saw Benjamin Mendy do 78 minutes too, before he was substituted for John Stones, as we saw Stones go in at, I think it was right back, and Danilo in at left back. Might we see that at some point this season? You never know. Anyway, big talking point in the second half. Ball goes in. Bernardo Silva from the corner. He's chucked off. I think it was from Duffy. He's chucked off. Edison doesn't get to the ball. Flaps a little bit of weak goalkeeping, but when you come out to collect the ball, you've got to collect the ball. Duffy's stronger, taller, wins the header, crucial, and even more crucial is that Laporte is there just in time from Glenn Murray to nip in front of him on his weaker foot to clear the ball, put it over the crossbar, and put it out for another corner. Then we clear our grounds. Opportunity there for Brighton missed, very close, their best chance of the whole game. I was wondering if this goal did go in, whether VAR might have ruled the goal out, because there is a clear shove from Duffy on Bernardo Silva. He literally just grapples him, grabs him, throws him to the ground, then goes and wins the header. And so it'd be interesting. It is interesting with VAR. What would have happened? I'm glad it didn't get to that, because I just know that a goal would have been given, and we'd have some talking points that I don't really want from the game. Anyway, final actions from the game, where we saw some Raheem Sterling go in well. He had a couple of shots. One shot was well saved. I think it was midway through the second half, was well saved by Ryan, and then right at the end, Raheem Sterling, with a good ball over from Gabriel Jesus, managed to get a good shot, which was well saved low down from Ryan too. All in all, though, wasn't to be. Brighton had a go, put some set pieces in, put some good balls in every now and then. Manchester City were kind of equal to them in winning the balls and making things happen, and it looked threatening. It looked like there might be potential danger here, but from going from potential danger to actually being danger, there wasn't a lot of that, and there weren't a lot of shots in this game. And so, whilst it was a bit dodgy that it was only 1-0, I never felt too concerned about Brighton really doing much in this game and scoring past Edison, and in the end Edison ended up keeping a clean sheet in front of 71,000 fans. So yeah, not too bad of an attendance at Wembley for this game for a 5:30 kickoff on a Saturday. Really does beg to question why this wasn't in the Midlands to make it fair on travel for both fans, and at a smaller capacity stadium to add a little bit of magic to the FA Cup final. But there we go, Manchester City, we're going to Wembley, finished 1-0 in this game. Job done really in Pep's first FA Cup final, and so we're going back to Wembley, I think it's like middle to end of May for the FA Cup final, so it'll be a great day out for everyone. I don't think we've been to the FA Cup final since 2013 in that match that we lost against Wigan, and we obviously won it in 2011 too. So it's not a competition that we've been all too successful with, particularly over the last 5 years or so, and so it'll be a good day out. I imagine City will probably sell out for the cup final, but it should be the Magic, should be our second game really, but instead it's our fourth game at Wembley, and so you wonder why there's fans are looking to save money with in so many competitions, going to so many games, going to loads of Wembley appearances. It all adds up. So, stats for this game, 70% possession for City, 30% for Brighton, 5 shots for Brighton, 2 on target, 13 shots for City, 4 on target, 1's gone in. Need to work on being clinical. I said in the last game we need to work on being clinical. Need to do the same again going against Tottenham. Tottenham are a very good side, well drilled, will struggle to create many opportunities, so when we do, we need to put them in the back of the net. Just like it is for the opponents, they need to put it in the back of ours. Need to do the same. Very interesting, City blocked 4 of Brighton's shots, yet Brighton didn't block any of ours. We normally have quite an abundance of shots and getting blocks in. Wasn't the case in this game. In terms of passes, 89% pass completion rate from City, 618 passes. I said it'd be somewhere between 500 to 600, so just over 600, so I wasn't too far out. 559 passes from Brighton, 75% pass completion rate. They didn't play bad at all, Brighton, in my opinion. Like I said, they just didn't create clear-cut opportunities. That was their only problem. They were clearly targeting set pieces. When fouls were put in, they were going down to make sure they won the fouls, or making sure that they could have a reason to put the balls into the box and get the big men forward. And so rather than staying on the feet and trying to create opportunities, they were more than happy to win the free kicks, win the corners and things like that, rather than just putting one ball into probably just Glenn Murray in the box or to send the big men forward. So I understand why they did that. Just didn't work at Manchester City. Defended deeper, particularly in the second half, but defended well, and so that's what we want. And so what we're looking for is to be able to move forward from that, and like I said, add a little bit of clinicalness to our game, just improve a little bit on the gameplay, and we shouldn't be too far away. In terms of clear-cut chances, 2 for City, none for Brighton. Like I said, that's what they were lacking. 15 balls in from Brighton, connecting with just 2. City double the amount of crosses connected, with 30 crosses connecting with 4. Poor from both sides, in my opinion, there. Corners, City had more corners, City made more recoveries, City made more tackled, interestingly. Brighton made more interceptions. In terms of clearances, Brighton made more clearances, they had more headed clearances. Aerial duels, City were better with the aerial duels than Brighton. Like I said, we did a lot of defending, particularly from set pieces. In terms of just making general blocks, Brighton ended up having more blocks in terms of what was happening in terms of the attacks, with City ended up having more blocking more shots than what they did. And so, yeah, there we go. Edison made two saves in this game, Ryan made 3. Quite interesting. Like I said, that just suggests that Manchester City, really the only difference in this game was City putting the ball in the back of the net on 4 minutes, and that was it. That was all it was to separate these sides. Wasn't a great performance from us. Wasn't a great performance from Brighton. It wasn't a great game. It wasn't a classic. There isn't a lot of talking points. Could Kyle have seen red? Leave that for you in the comments below. But yeah, I feel like it's job done. I'm finding it difficult to do man of the match. I saw them give it to Knockout. I didn't think Knockout had a bad game in this game, but to give an attacking player man of the match, you have to create opportunities. And I feel like Knockout, whilst he played with his heart on his sleeve and he worked really hard for the team, it didn't really have the end product there, but nor did Manchester City. But like I said, the difference was Kevin De Bruyne putting in that ball. And so, for me, man of the match, Kevin De Bruyne, but I could easily give it to Gabriel Jesus. I understand why they've given it to Knockout, but to give it to an attacking player, they've scored no goals and created no clear-cut chances, baffles me. Yeah, so there we go. We need to be much better on Tuesday night for the game against Spurs. Win's a win. We're through to the FA Cup final, so we can't complain too much, but we need to be much better against Spurs. Plenty of big games coming up. We need to up our performances, and it's one of those where we just kind of coasted along, and I hate it when we coast along. There's always opportunities to do better, and that's what we're looking for. So there we go. It's been the video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a big thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here, and press the bell and put your push notifications on. Check out our social media links in the description below and on the screen if you want to go and search for me and follow me on there. Yeah, pretty much it. We've got the transfer update up tomorrow. We're going to be talking about latest transfer news and transfer gossip, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, make sure you stay tuned and subscribe. And we're going to have the preview up and analysis up coming up early in the week. So Monday we've got the preview up for the big Tottenham game, analysis up on Wednesday. So I'll see you then. So it's been JSGC. Hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. We're into the cup final and we've got a busy schedule coming up. And so we move on to the next game. So I'll see you all again for the next video. So it's been JSGC. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.